We're taking a live look right now at the Sylvan Heights Bird Park. The current time right now is 3:01 and the current temperature sitting in at the lower 60s. And I'm going to have more details coming up on your forecast here in just a moment. But I want to welcome you to another edition of the WITN First Alert Weather Desk. I'm meteorologist Russell James, and thank you for all tuning in for today. A lot to talk about, at least weather-wise, right now. And we're going to go ahead and switch over to our forecast right now. So this is what we're looking at least through the rest of the week. We're going to be seeing cool and breezy conditions on tap, overcast skies, temperatures holding steady into the 60s. We've been persistently mild due to northerly breezes and also clouds. Clouds have kind of kept us warm overnight, but also prevented highs from reaching higher than really like 67, 68 all throughout the day. As we take a look ahead at what we're going to be anticipating, it looks like through Wednesday, looks like we'll see one more warm day with some ample sunshine. We'll see scattered clouds in the first half of the day, but temperatures should begin to top off into the mid 70s. And then going into Thursday night, Friday, we'll have chilly mornings and mild days ahead, along with mainly sunny skies on tap for the east. And speaking of Thursday, for those of you going to the Tulsa versus ECU football game Thursday night, tailgating, it will be into the mid 60s, but kickoff temperatures most likely will be in the mid 50s. So you want to be sure to have a light jacket or at least have a couple layers with you, especially with that light northerly breeze. It might be a bit airish outside. Wind chills could be into the mid to upper 40s. Right now we're sitting at 64 degrees. North wind at 6 miles an hour, dew point sitting into the 60s. We've had a northerly breeze at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Temperatures here, again, the clouds have kept us rather cool. So 66 right now in Hatteras, 64 in Jacksonville. But if you go back towards the western part of the state, Charlotte sitting at 80 degrees, and we are running roughly a few degrees warmer in a few spots than it was around this time yesterday. So again, we're going to be holding on to at least the mild temperatures as we go through the evening hours tonight. We'll have a northerly breeze across the region. Similar story along the coast. Winds starting to relax. That is some great news, especially given the coastal flooding that we saw this past weekend. Satellite radar composite showing the clouds across the region. Upper level system across the upper Midwest, that's going to be missing us. And then, of course, there's a lot of activity happening in southwestern California with flash flood warnings all across the LA area and even stretching down towards Southern California. But high pressure that you see here in place is going to be taking full control of our weather as we head into your Wednesday and also into your Wednesday afternoon, evening. Notice the clouds starting to finally break up, and then a cold front will be arriving from the north as we go into late Wednesday night, early Thursday, ushering in another reinforcing shot of cooler air and then another high pressure ridge building in behind that. And so that's going to keep our rain chances fairly low over the coming days. In fact, no rain expected from tomorrow all the way through Saturday. Once we head into Sunday afternoon and evening, we'll have an area of low pressure with a frontal system approaching from the north and west, giving us our next chance of rain. But essentially, we'll just have a quiet pattern sticking around for the region. So tomorrow's highs getting up into the mid 70s. Northerly breeze across the region. So go into Wednesday night, early Thursday, we'll start off into the low 50s and even some upper 40s mixing in, 60s along the coast. And then as we head into Thursday afternoon, we will barely struggle, or we'll struggle to get closer towards the 70-degree mark. And then watch what happens as we go into Thursday night. We'll drop down into the 40s, maybe even some upper 30s, at least in terms of wind chills mixing in. So a very chilly start to the end of the week. So just something to keep in mind for those of you that are going to be out and about this weekend. So while we continue to deal with mild temperatures here, tropics still ongoing. We are watching Tropical Storm Lorenzo right now sitting at 45 miles an hour, gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Lorenzo's not looking very healthy. It doesn't look like your traditional tropical storm. Is being heavily sheared apart, and there's also some drier air intruding within the center of circulation as it's moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. Lorenzo is going to remain over the open waters of the Atlantic, perhaps becoming a remnant low going into Friday night and then going into Saturday. So tropics will not impact your forecast, nor will the weather, which means for those of you going to the Onslow County Fair today through Thursday from 4 to 11 p.m., you are in good shape. Of course, WITN End Zone will be this Friday. And then the John Lawson Legacy Days will be in Grifton from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, and also once again going into next Saturday. And then the 24th Annual Canine Crawl by the Humane Society of Eastern North Carolina at Wildwood Park from noon to 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. So a lot of events coming up, great weather permitting over the next 8 days. Highs into the 60s and 70s. We'll have overnight low temperatures into the 50s through tonight and Wednesday night. 40s return Thursday night through about Saturday morning or so. And then as we head into next weekend, we'll rebound slightly. Temperatures around the 70s to close to 80 degrees. 40% chance of showers in the forecast late Monday night to Tuesday. And then a stronger cool front could return next week, returning our highs back into the mid 60s with overnight low temperatures around 44 degrees across several spots. So again, not much to talk about, which is great news for us. If you have any weather questions or concerns about the weather, please be sure to let us know. We'll be sure to keep you covered for the latest info. Be sure to stay tuned again at WITN at 4 p.m. On our first alert desk, as I will give you another update on the weather. So thank you all for watching, and be sure to take it easy out there these next few days. Enjoy the weather closely. I'll see you then.